Hi guys. I'm super excited. I love doing this podcast. So this is going to be episode 4, Real Talk, the Sunny podcast. And this episode is going to be about fake fucking friends, quotation mark, and how to spot them. So I'm going to do my usual disclaimers so you guys can, with free will, decide if you want to continue listening or not. I always throw in a little bit of astrology, tarot, I don't know, I guess psychology-like stuff, just because there's thought here. And I'm just an enthusiast of all that stuff. I'm not a professional astrologer. I'm not a psychologist. I went to school for communications and advertising. That's what I have my master's degree in. I am a psychic. I channel visions from spirit. And also my Venus and my Mercury is in Aries. So I say a lot of inappropriate things, but I like the way I speak. So I may not be for you, just like you guys may not be for other people, right? That's the way the cookie crumbles. So, I want to give you guys that opportunity before you continue listening to the rest of this episode. If you guys want to continue listening or not. I don't want you guys to trigger yourselves because I put out those disclaimers. All right. So with that being said, fake friends and how to spot them. I'm going to be talking a lot about myself in this episode and my own personal situations because I feel like maybe hearing my storylines, maybe it'll help you guys figure out your own. Because I feel like this is a touchy subject when you have years of basically history with people. And you kind of sort of think like maybe they're just not a good friend, or maybe you make excuses for these people, like just everybody's different at the end of the day, and maybe they can't come through like you come through for them, so you still keep them around in your life, and it's like, well, maybe they're just not a good friend. But when you keep people like that around, it lowers your frequency in some type of way, your energy levels, and it's like, I just really believe in that whole Scorpio-like energy where something must die in order for something else to come along, in order for something to be created for you guys. So what I mean by that is like, get rid of these fake friends, or, whatever word you guys want to use. Maybe not fake, but just friends that, they could be friends, are they really your good friends? So you can allow good people with good intentions to enter your life, because I feel like it's really hard to get that if you're still holding on to friendships that don't really serve a fucking purpose, And I think there's a lot of misunderstandings with saying things like that too, when you use the word like, oh, serve a purpose. Oh my God, Kylo, stop. Sorry, guys. It's not that somebody has to give you something in order to be a good friend, but there always needs to be that healthy dynamic, that give and receive type of energy. You guys can't constantly be giving your all, and your friends aren't showing up for you, and you guys are just making these shitty excuses at the end of the day for them, like, oh, they're just not capable of doing this because of this, I hope that's making sense, because I never realized that that's what I was doing for years with certain people in my life, where I was keeping people, number one, in my life for so much longer than I should have, because of one, history, being friends with these people since the 3rd grade, the 4th grade. So it's like, I didn't want to let go of that. And then the second thing was, oh, well, they're just not capable of, like, I'm an Aries. So Aries people, you guys may have different experiences, but I can only speak for myself as an Aries. I am literally the epitome of a ride or die. So it's like, if you need me, I'm there. So all of my friends know that. Like, no matter what anybody can say, like, if you need me, I will be there to show up. Like, if you're that friend that is, going through something, being bullied, and you can't verbally speak up, like, I will verbally speak up for you. But because that Libra energy, like, I need to know the backstory. Like, I need to make sure you're in the right. Because if you're in the wrong, I'm going to also tell you, no, you're in the fucking wrong, and this is why you're in the wrong. So there is this loyalty about me that I know, this undying loyalty, where I've never been able to get that back from anybody in my life. And I just feel like, because that's kind of a hard energy to be, it's not easy. It really takes a lot of balls, I'm going to be honest. So I've always just accepted that, kind of made excuses for other people to not give that back to me, but it's like, it was just excuses and I didn't realize it. But at the same time, I also want you guys to be aware that we don't want to get into that victim mentality of thinking we provide or we give more into friendships than they do. Because that's another thing I've come to learn recently is like, I did this thing for a few years where it's like, I know I'm the person that's just always reaching out to people to keep up. Like, in order to have my friends in my life, it's like I have to be that person that text messages people. And it's like, I can't do that. Like, I guarantee you, if I don't do that, I'm not going to get those text messages. And this isn't with everybody. I want to be really clear, because I'm really not good with the phone. I'm very bad that way, actually. But there's certain friends where I knew that, like, if I didn't keep up with them, they definitely wouldn't keep up with me. And I would test this out. I'd be like, okay, I'm just literally not going to reach out. And I bet you these people won't reach out to me. And sure enough, that would be the thing. However, if we dive into those relationships a little more, we're going to see that, okay, maybe they're not good, or maybe they're not good at keeping up. However, where do they come through in that friendship that I don't come through? And I'm going to tell you right now, there are just basic ass things in relationships that I lack. And it's not because I'm a bad person. It's not because I'm a shitty friend. It's just like, when it comes to astrology and your natal chart, there are just certain energies that you focus more in. And usually this is when you have planets in these house placements. And usually when you don't have planets in other house placements, it's not that you're doomed, with those. It's just you're not focusing all your energy in those things. So, for example, one of my friends, I could think of her right now. She told me something about her daughter being bullied. And she asked me if I could help her, with this letter to the principal. And then she was like, oh, you know what? Actually, never mind. I'm good. It ended up working out. I still haven't reached out to her to see like, hey, is your daughter doing okay? Like, is she? And it's like, that may sound really shitty, but it's like, it's not that I don't care. It's not that I genuinely don't care. Right? Because I feel like with social media and the way society is, there's like those things that go around, those memes, like if somebody cared enough, they'd text you, right? Or what is it? Nobody's too busy, right? Nobody's too busy. And yeah, that's usually true, but it's just not always true. And this is why I'm always going to say this in every video. Life is not black or white. There's a lot of gray. And the reason I haven't reached out to her is because I got shit going on in my mind. My mind is going a mile a minute because there's things in my life I need to do. And I'm not thinking of my friend and her daughter. I'm just being honest. And it doesn't make me a bad friend. It doesn't mean I don't care. It's just like, if you guys could see what I have going on, it's like I got my own shit. I have my own priorities, And, somebody could hear this and think, wow, bad. But no, I totally disagree. And every time I think about it, I'm like, okay, let me go text her. Then I get distracted. So therefore, it's like, well, what if that's the friend that doesn't reach out to me? It's like, I always have to reach out to her. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like that Libra energy, the scales, like, and also Six of Pentacles and Tarot. Like, you got to have that giving, receiving energy. Well, maybe I'm good at keeping up with the friendship, like making sure we get together, making sure we catch up every now and then. And maybe she's good at remembering these things. Like if I tell her something's going on in my life, maybe she's really good at following up with that. Like if roles were reversed, I know her. She would be like, did everything work out? Is your daughter okay? Like she's good that way. And I have so many friends that are really good with stuff like that. However, when I have friends that are going through things like that, I am so bad that way. And I don't know why, but I make up for it in other ways. Oh my God, in so many other ways, like advice, honesty, being there to bail you out, picking up that 2 a.m. phone call that nobody else is going to pick up. Like the list goes on. So I think it's important to always remember those things, because it's so easy to lean towards the victim mentality that like, well, you know what? This friendship isn't working out for me anyway, because they never call me anyway. I always have to call them. And I do this too. But the other side of the spectrum is maybe you are just doing too much, right? Maybe you are. Like I know me personally, I definitely find myself in not necessarily like fake friendships, but just these connections with these friends that I just feel like aren't, sorry for the background noise, story of my life. So like, for example, I've mentioned this a lot. I have my South Node in the 11th house, and I have my North Node in the 5th house. And for those of you who are not aware of astrology or what this means, pretty much, long story short, I'm very good at doing things for other people, and I'm not so good at doing things for myself. However, naturally, I shine, like I stand out. But when you look really closely, I'm not too good at getting this attention. Like, it may seem like it from a distance, like, okay, you attention seeking bitch. But it's like, when you look a little closer, you can tell, like, I'm not good at it. Like, and that's another thing with astrology is like when you look at people's charts, like if I were to tell you I have Leo in my midhaven, like in my progress chart, this means somebody who wants to be on stage, one way of looking at it, or somebody who's creative, somebody who loves beautiful things. And the list can go on as to what that could mean. But then you got to look at the planets and how they're talking to each other in somebody's chart. So if we dive a little deeper, you'll see that, she's not so comfortable with this. However, my destiny, my fate, because the North Node is in the 5th house, is constantly pushing me to be comfortable with this, because I'm meant to stand out. I'm meant to do something, because I've been doing things for the people behind the scenes in a majority of all my lives, if not all of them. I don't, let's just say get the credit, or I don't get to do my own thing. I don't get to do something for myself. And it's like, in this life, I need to do that. And a lot of people don't realize, and this isn't anybody's fault, because a lot of us have trouble seeing ourselves. We're really easy at judging others, right? But when we meet these people who seem to stand out or get the limelight, whatever you want to call this, there are people that are good with this energy, like evolved with it, like handle it graciously. Where you can't help but be attracted to these people because you're meant to be. And then you see these other, quote unquote, like unevolved people who do attract this energy, but there's something very ungracious about it. So when you have the South Node in the 11th house, it's like these lessons in your life are going to push you through trial and error, through pain with other people, pretty much ganging up on you, not understanding why you act the way you do, but it will motivate you low-key to want to do better in your life and want to stand out, because now you're catching on that people have a problem with this, whether they realize it or not. You're realizing it now. You're catching the signs, the pieces. You're putting it all together from your whole life. So I've always had group karma with people where it's like I can fight with one person, and then that one person will get a bunch of other people involved. And as an Aries, Mars rules Aries. It's like, I don't need anybody in my corner. I could fight my own battles. It would be nice, It would be nice if I had a group as well, but it's like, I don't need that group. I can fight you guys on my own. And I usually do. And this is why I'm good at it, because I've been doing it since I was a fucking child. Not that I want to do this, because when you look at the rest of my chart, it's talking about somebody who literally just wants peace and love and wants people to stop like causing havoc. Like, please leave me the fuck alone. Stop causing fights with me. I'm sorry you misunderstand me, but that's not my fucking problem. I'm also not going to take your shit. So because of this, there's a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of miscommunication, and it all stems from miscommunication. People not really speaking up or speaking clearly or being honest. And this is something an Aries literally does not understand. Like we only speak, again, I can only speak for myself. You guys may have different experiences with your own Aries people. We only understand truth. We only understand honesty. We honestly don't even get sugarcoating. Like we don't get that because it's, we understand emotionless conversations when honesty, like when we're talking about something serious. And a lot of people don't get this about Aries people. They want to call us very emotional, but they're not really paying attention to what's going on. Usually when we're speaking our blunt truths or honesty, there's a lack of emotion. And because most people are sugarcoating things, not wanting to step on people's tippy toes because they don't want to hurt their feelings, a majority of the world, 9 out of 10, operate on that, not emotional type of frequency, but it's like when they deal with an Aries with emotionless, straightforward directness, people misinterpret this for being emotional, but it's actually emotionless. So when we get this pushback of like, wow, you're angry, or wow, you are so like taking this personal, it's actually people misunderstanding the emotionless conversation because we believe those type of conversations should lack emotions because the emotions will fuck up the conversation. A lot of people don't get that. And then what actually ends up making us emotional is because people are accusing us of being emotional. And we know damn well like how we feel. Like we're and that's unfortunately because there's this constant frustration, we end up acting out and then acting emotional because we're constantly explaining like, no, we're not mad. We're just talking to you directly. And literally everybody misunderstands this, which usually causes the tension and problems with people. A majority of the people I've ever dealt with, my friends, fake friends, old friends that are no longer in my life, what I realize, like the trend with them is they're not open in their communication. And anytime that they are with me, I think they're scared or something like that because of that emotionless presence. I guess it's intimidating. But usually what leads up to that moment of like, quote unquote confrontation where something has gone wrong and now we need to have a conversation, it usually stemmed from some type of bullshit. It stemmed from somebody being bothered or upset about something and not being open and honest about it. And instead, they wanted to try to go around it. And friendships cannot, I don't care what zodiac sign you are, it's just human nature. We can't succeed with others when we're not being honest. We just can't. It will just come out one way or another. And I feel like it's an energy we just feel. And then this, quote unquote, creates that paranoia, right? Like, oh, you're paranoid or you're this, you're that. And I really do deeply believe that there are other people who don't understand their own energies because they're so busy like judging others or their focus is on others that it's not enough on themselves. Because a lot of people don't like to focus on themselves, right? There's something very shadowy about it because it's like then we have to deal with our shadow, our negative aspects, and that's not easy. It's not fun. So we avoid it. And I think in return as human beings, it's so much easier to judge others, be the outsiders, right? So I feel like this is what happens when you get into these conversations with friends, or it's like when a friendship is good and then it gets bad. It's like, and obviously apply common sense here. Everybody's storyline is different. But I know in my personal experience, it always stems from somebody getting bothered by something and not being open or upfront. And then maybe those passive aggressive digs start, or maybe that distance starts, or maybe talking behind your back starts. It's like it, but if you look at all those things I just said, it stems from not being open. Or it's like, or if this person decides they don't want to be your friend anymore, again, it's like they're not being open and honest. And it's so unfortunate because it's like people look at this as a confrontational thing, communication. And it's like it could literally be like a 2-minute thing, and it's, 10 of Wands and tarot in reverse. Like it could be off the weight of the shoulder, the weight of the world is off your shoulders, like you're done with it. That's how an Aries looks at it. Like just say what you got to say and let it go, move on. I feel like with this culture we're in with society, it's like we try to pretend like we're so unbothered that it is so blatantly obvious that we are bothered. I don't vibe with it. I've never vibed with it, and this is why I've come off as this emotional person, or I think this is why Aries people come off as emotional people. And it's so dumb to me. I got to be honest with you. I think it's so dumb, and it all stems from people wanting to play. And it's like, I'm thinking of that one video. Play with your mama. Play with your mama. Like don't play with me because you're not playing me. I see right through you. I don't care if you open up or ever admit that to me. I see through your soul. And that is very Aries-like because we come from the Pisces, the 12th house, because we rule the first house. I am here. So this is the energy we naturally embody and recognize is us, ourselves. However, we're extremely intuitive because we're coming from that 12th house. And then in life, we are evolving into the next house. That's what we are maturing into. And the same goes for all of you guys, whatever your zodiac sign is, just in case you're unclear on that. So this whole unbothered energy, I do not fucks with that. I will never fucks with that. I do not care about that. I feel like it helps me genuinely evolve into the unbothered energy, because how could I be bothered when I already told you I was bothered? You know what I mean? Like now I'm unbothered because, see, that's another thing about Aries energy. It's like there's no real resentments with Aries people because it's like we told you everything. We spit everything out. We told you what it was. You probably didn't like it, or, we probably didn't say it in the best of ways because those blunt truths, and something we do have to work on. We do have to work on thinking that people have a heart, right? They have emotions just like us. We do. We're very emotional when we are having those conversations that call for it. That's just my personal opinion. We can be very emotional, but when there's a need to have that honest conversation for truth, I'm sorry, nobody can tell me any different. It's an emotionless thing. And that's when people have a problem with it and they don't realize it. But anyway, this whole unbothered thing, we tell people what it is, and usually people don't. And that's where people build resentments and start up with those passive aggressive jabs, or they start laying low and start not texting you as much, or living out of state, and they claim they're your friend, and then they fly to the same state you live in and they don't tell you they're there. That's happened to me several times. And it's like, ooh, I was trying to make excuses for you bitches, but damn, didn't I also pay for one of your trips to come here because you were claiming you were broke? That's another thing. This is what I mean by Aries energy. Like, when we want to have a good time, like, we are willing to do things for our friends. Like, girl, we want to party. We want to do this. You got to come. I'll pay for your ticket. And then it's like, okay, your family lives here too. Got it. Yeah, go see them. Do what you got to do, girl. I barely saw you that same trip I paid for. Wow. Damn. Like, some people just don't understand, like, basic common fucking manners. Like, when somebody does a nice gesture and the whole idea of the trip was to have a celebration. But people just take advantage like that, and they're selfish like that, and they don't realize. And you guys may be thinking, did you speak up? Yes, I did. And I actually did it very nicely. And it's like, that still didn't go over well, because some people in return can't speak up, or can't hold themselves accountable for, like, maybe this was wrong. Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. Or maybe I should have put more thought into this. Maybe I should have put more thought into that. Maybe as a friend, I didn't come in my full 50 like I should have. I remember the first time that happened to me, it was years ago, where my quote unquote best friend was coming up to New York. And, she was, I don't know, super stressed out about something in life. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not even going to suggest that we get together because she's not bringing it up. So I'm just not going to bring it up. And, but I wanted to because, love my friends. And, all of a sudden, a day or two later, she's like, oh, so I'm going to be seeing so-and-so in New York. Did you want to join us? Or did you want to meet up as well? Guys, when you think you have like a best friend and then it's like they're not even, this could be like a fire sign thing, I don't know, but like what the fuck? What did I just hear? What did you just say? Like, you know what I mean? Like, my best friend is coming from another state and you're coming to the state I live in. You're not even having a conversation about should we get together. Okay, I'm going to try to respect that because as much as I want to hug you and just hang out with you, party with you, or just lay low, whatever it is you want to do, I can sense that you really don't want to hang out. So I'm just going to try to respect that. I'm going to not say anything. But no. Now you are going to be hanging out with somebody else and now you're throwing me a second invite? What? What the fuck is that? Like, I'm sorry, but when you guys may think this is childish or immature when you hit a certain age in your life, or this just may not be your energy, but this is an Aries energy for sure. We're supposed to be best friends. And this other girl's her best friend too. Okay. But here's the difference between me and this girl. Because this girl who was my best friend, she always created this like fake tension that never existed between me and this other girl. It was always me, my best friend, and she had this other best friend. And it's like she made this fake scenario that this never existed. That I was always jealous. Like I always believed that she chose this girl over me. But what this girl wasn't being open and honest about was that she created these really shitty situations that made me look some kind of way, that would put me in these positions to make me look jealous. Because it's like, to me, that was a big slap in the face. That was a big fuck you. Was it though? We'll just say no. But you're leading me to bring this girl into my responses every time because you're somehow making it seem like you're choosing this girl. Like you are genuinely choosing to hang out with this girl, even though me, just a little background story, I'm constantly trying to hang out with this girl. Like, oh, do you want to go here on a trip? Do you want to go here? Oh, do you want to do this? Oh, I know you're on a budget. Maybe we could do this. Oh, you said you want to do, like, I make it crystal clear. I want to hang out with this girl. Keep this in mind. And then to hear that, okay? So that created a whole argument. And I don't really remember how that ended, but knowing me, I definitely got over it, and let it go. But it hurt. And like, I never forgot about it, but it hurt. Like I thought, wow, that spoke fucking volumes. And, I decided, okay, well, I'm not going to see you. Like if you're going to do something big like that, I'm most definitely not going to see you. So, and somebody like her would try to play it off as if we haven't been friends since the 4th grade, as if something like that wouldn't have hurt my feelings. Like you already knew you were coming to New York. You didn't already like try to create some type of interaction where we could get together, but instead you actually threw me a second invite and then also wanted me to know that you're getting together with this girl. It's just like, I don't know, I may not be explaining that story right, but fast forward to another time, she's always throwing this girl in any chance. Like when I got engaged, she came up to New York, and she even told me that the same girl wanted to see her and was asking her if she could make time to go see her. You see what I'm saying? Like somehow this girl is always like getting involved, and it's like, can I just hang out with her? Because I haven't seen her in years. Like literally, it's been fucking years. Can I just chill with my friend without you always being there? Because last time I checked, you're always hanging out with her. Like, and when I say always, that's an exaggeration. This is like, I don't know, let's just put it this way, more than me. So, you know, she didn't see her, at least to my knowledge. I don't believe so. She didn't hang out with her during my engagement. But then this girl's birthday came around recently, and she originally, like a year ago, wanted to make plans. And I said, I'm totally down. Let's do something. Then we're getting closer to her birthday. I said, oh, I know you're on a budget. We could do this. We could do that. She's like, yeah, I'm probably just not going to do anything. Well. She then ends up telling me that she's going to be doing something with this girl. This girl, and she made it very clear, like, she's not stupid, this person who was my friend. She went into like full details, like this girl invited herself to my place. She's going to be here, you know, because it's like, just in case I see something on social media. Anyway, fast forward, never got an invite, nothing. But again, made it super clear I wanted to do something for her birthday, wanted to hang out. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to like take it personal. I'm just going to let it go. A few weeks later, after the birthday, she's like, oh, she's coming back again, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm going to say something at this point because I'm never like even getting this sad little invite. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, I just feel like it speaks volumes. You are in my heart of hearts. Like, even if I know you can't travel to New York, but if I have somebody else visiting me, I'm going to just throw the invite your way, just so you know you're in my thoughts. If you want to come, you're more than welcome. Like, that's just the type of person I am. And if I'm constantly showing you that, I expect that back in some type of way. I don't expect this fucking energy back where it's like, you then like intentionally want me to know just in case I see something on social media and you don't want me acting like some crazy jealous ex-girlfriend because you don't want to get caught. Meanwhile, it's like you're already selling yourself down the fucking river by thinking all of these thoughts, and you're making this girl an issue, but really you're the fucking issue. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the truth of the matter is, with this other girl doesn't even listen to my friend. Like, she's bitched about this girl to me, how she's selfish and how all she does is talk about herself. And anytime my friend opens up to her, she knows she's not listening. So you know what that tells me? That the stage in life that my quote unquote friend it has been in, that she just chooses to listen, to hang out with this girl because there's nothing too serious about it. It's lighthearted. It's fun. It's like, but with me, she knows I will listen to her. I will give her food for thought. And it's like, she doesn't want to think, which also isn't right because she's also jumping the gun, thinking we have to have these deep conversations. And she's not the first friend, quote unquote friend, to do this to me. To assume, and I don't know if you guys have been taught what the word assume means. I was taught this from my father. Was told to circle the first 3 letters, which is ass, and then circle the next letter by itself, which is the letter U, and then circle the next 2 letters, which is M-E, me. When you assume something, you make an ass out of you and me. I learned that at the age of like 8 or 10 years old, okay? You never should assume anything. Now, I understand that I give off these type of vibes because I love deep conversations. I love giving advice. I love helping. I can't help it. It's my dharma in this life. It's something I'm good at. However, it's also something I'm meant to learn karmically that I am not meant to give it. People are actually meant to give it to me. I'm not meant to, let me rephrase that. It's not that I'm not meant to give it. I am. But for people who are searching for it, there's a difference. People who genuinely want it. And then these people I attract into my personal life, they don't understand their own energy. They don't understand that they are looking for advice that they can't seem to take accountability for or listen to at the time. It's like they come to me because they want truth, they want honesty, but are you willing to listen to that? Or are you just going to get mad at the person who's giving it to you? And that's what happens every fucking time, like clockwork with these people. And they don't want to take accountability because they all lack self-fucking awareness. And that's the real problem. But they want to blame me. They want to make me out to be this person that's just like, I want to psychoanalyze their lives. I want to do this. It's like, no, bro, we don't have to have these conversations. You are choosing to bring up your shitty boyfriend. You are choosing to bring up your shitty money situation to me. You are choosing. Nobody told you to bring up this stuff. We can literally drink and have a good time, as if I can't do that. Please. Nobody can tell me any different. I am not here to play people's mommy or their therapist. Yet I have these people who are so smart. These women I attract are very, very smart. By law of attraction, this makes sense. And I get their energy, but they don't want to own what it is they're doing because subconsciously they don't understand what it is they're doing. They are speaking out loud about personal things to me because they are seeking truth. Truth they already know. That's not my fucking problem that I gave it to you. Don't go out looking for it, but don't you dare try to make me seem like I am trying to psychoanalyze your life. I want to play mommy. I want to play therapist. No, I don't want to do any of those things because you're not paying me. No, I'm just kidding. I actually genuinely do enjoy these things. But when people respect the energy that is being given, and these people do not, instead they just want to deny it, which I get. It's like when you go to somebody and you tell them your situation you're going through and you're like, do you think he likes me? And your friends are like, no, definitely not. And you're just like, no, I think so. And they're just like, no. You know what I mean? It's like, are you ready to hear the truth? It's like when you're a kid growing up and the adults around you, your parents or grandparents, they're trying to give you adult life advice. You're not really ready for it then, right? You'll be ready for it later on when those random downloads or memories hit you later on in life. It's because those messages you're not ready for, but you're getting them at a certain point. I hope that makes sense. So are these people fake? Are these people? It's not that they're fake. It's just that they lack self-awareness. And we're at two different points in our life where I'm willing to take accountability for my actions. I'm willing to, I've always been that person that's like, when I know I fuck up, I apologize. I genuinely believe in apologizing, and I believe in showing actions, not just words, but actions for that. And do I back that up through my connections and my friendships? Do they show me this in return? And it's like, no, they don't. So I need to change that in my life. And that's what I've been doing. I've been literally doing that like Scorpio type of fucking energy. At least that's my interpretation of Pluto and Scorpio, which is like something must die in order for something new to come in. And it's like, I am over these type of friendships. Not that they're necessarily fake, but they don't evolve me. They don't grow me. They just stay stagnant. Where it's like somebody doesn't want to open up anymore about their boyfriend life because they're afraid I'm going to psychoanalyze it. And it's like, you could just actually communicate those words to me that, well, listen, I'm going to vent to you, but I just don't, like say it in a way you feel fucking comfortable, but don't fucking like, especially a psychic, like you can't get away with things like that. I don't need to channel it. It's just intuitively, I'm feeling that you are reserving things. You are intentionally staying quiet. And it's not because you're a private person. It's because you're afraid I'm going to psychoanalyze something and make you think twice about it and your life will change, because people love to blame me for that type of shit now. And it's like, that's not my fucking fault. Pay attention to the things you're saying. Pay attention to yourself. Damn it. So understand the difference between fake friends and just friends that aren't where you're at. And that's not to, put these people down, although it's like, it's a little contradicting, I know, but it's just like, we're not at the same fucking levels anymore. We're just not. And that's not to say, because I don't believe life is black or white. I believe there's more gray. It doesn't mean that doesn't mean these decisions are permanent. It's just for now, it's like, you gotta go. You're not welcome here anymore. I had this friend who bailed on me during my engagement because she was acting like a real bitch. She had too much going on in her life between having children, like a Brady Bunch type of lifestyle, and having a boyfriend or fiance. I don't know what he was. Was he a husband? Oh yeah, she was married. I don't remember. She had too much going on. Too much to be my maid of honor. And she wasn't doing the things she was supposed to do, like buying the dress, like buying the actual dress. And it's like the color of the dress was going to potentially, I don't know the right terminology, but expire. It could. Like, that's the thing. When you get a dress color at these places that aren't like the traditional colors that are always there, they could just stop making them at any point in time with no warning to you, which is crazy. I think that's ludicrous, but whatever. So this got me, scared as as a bridezilla. This got me scared because like, hello, this is my wedding. I'll be damned if, because you got shit going on in your life, you are not going to, you're going to wear something different. Your color is going to be different. Your dress is going to, guys, it was her and my other maid of honor, my quote unquote 2 best friends at the time. They were the only ones not getting the dress. Again, this is what I mean. Really watch what's going on. And you may be thinking like, well, maybe you're being harsh, or maybe because I put the word bridezilla out, maybe I was, no. And I have the text message because I keep the receipts. Okay, I am that person. I was being open-minded, understanding that people are on budgets. These dresses cost money. People have things going on in their life. I offered to get these things for these people. But these dresses need to be sized, whatever. Anyway, people weren't getting back to me. When you're just intentionally not getting back to people because you believe they're trying to control you or dominate you, it's like, bitch, put your pride to the side. This has nothing to do with this. This is your best friend's wedding. What are you doing? What are you doing? That shit's unacceptable to me. Like, I would never do you like you did me. I would never do that. And one of those girls ended up reaching out a few years later and she apologized for it. That's great. The other girl, oh my God, fucking crazy, didn't want to take accountability for shit because she didn't want to own up to not being able to handle life. Okay, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. That you're going through things and you can't keep up. Have the open conversation about it. Don't try to like manipulate others, possibly unintentionally. I'm not saying it was intentionally, because we're human and we do these things subconsciously. And we don't mean to hurt people we love, because I know her heart at the end of the day. I know she loves me and I know she misses me. I'm not stupid. I know that. But there's just certain things you should not be doing that are totally, totally disgusting. And that was one of them. And next thing I knew, I was blocked on everything on social media. No conversation, like no real conversation, no communication as to what's going on, because she didn't feel that I was owed one. Despite being friends since the 10th grade, it's like, are you kidding me? This is the respect you believe this friendship is owed? Like, forget about me. What about this friendship, this connection? All those years, you're just going to do us like that? You're going to do us dirty like that? Because no matter what, even let's say she was acting like a bridezilla, I would be thinking to myself like, this bitch, she better have the best alcohol at this wedding, I swear. Like, I just feel like, and again, this really does stem into astrology. We are all different. People are meant to teach us certain things. And just because I could put my pride to the side, it doesn't mean other people can. In fact, I really call in a lot of egotistical fucking people that have so much difficulty saying I'm sorry. Like, oh my God. I literally just had one of my guy friends reach out to me. I think the last time I spoke to him was 2007. I think it was 2007. And the last look he gave me was literally eyeing me from my toes to my head to let me know he did not fucks with me. He literally only reached out to me last year. How many years? Hold on. I need to look at this now. Let's get the calculator. So 2022, subtract 2007. 15 years. Oh my God. 15 years to apologize. That's insane. Like, I can't believe how people get so hung up on that. I'm sorry. Wow. I don't know. I don't know. I think if I'm thinking of it that way, because, again, I want you guys to not play victim, right? So I'm talking about being prideful, whatever, and not understanding that energy. Because genuinely, it's hard for me to comprehend that energy because, I don't know, it's just in my chart. Again, astrology plays a vital role with this stuff with other people. I just recently learned about myself regarding, these friends and, by law of attraction, why do you attract these people? Or even like with guys too, like why does this happen? So I think because, me personally being an Aries, and you always got to look at that axis, the other side is Libra, and I am a rising Libra. So I do this thing where it's like, as open as I am, or as open-minded as I am, I do have a habit of thinking like, I don't need anybody. Like, I don't need anybody's help. I could do this. And it's like, and then I look at my life when I do these things, and guys, like, I hate to admit this, I need help. Like, that hurts my fucking soul saying that out loud. But it's like, I look around me, I'm looking at my apartment, I'm just like, and I'm thinking of my truck, inside that truck, and I'm just thinking of like my brain as well, like what goes on in there when I try to do things on my own. And I see it time and time again. And it's like, I truly believe that you guys need to be independent and learn how to be independent and really be healed, whether it's getting out of relationships or even friendships, like, and learn that you don't need other people to be happy, to be successful. Like, you can do that all within you. Yes, but I don't want you guys getting caught up in that energy or getting confused by that energy, because sometimes some of us, not all of us, really do thrive better with other people. And I mean, I don't want to like get off topic here. Like, I'm not talking about the collective and why we're here on Earth, having a human experience, and maybe as humans, like, we're all supposed to be 11th house. Like, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm not doing that. This is not about that in this episode. We're just talking about that there are some individuals out there that can literally be well organized, be on top of their A game, very like Capricorn energy, but what I mean by that is Saturn, Capricorn rules Saturn. Did I say that backwards? Saturn rules Capricorn. Whatever, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Like, structure. And I realize that I am just on my A game, like really good when there are strong people in my life. Like, when I say strong people, let's take that back. I don't even mean strong people, just people I love in my life. Whether it's a boyfriend or a best friend, I notice I'm just on top of my shit more. And, they say Aries people are competitive, and I've been trying to like watch myself a little more, like to see like what this is about. But honestly, I think this is because Mars is in the 8th house for me. So this truly speaks about, like, in my opinion, being competitive with myself. Like, I don't know. I have an Aries guy friend, and I talked to him about this, and I'm like, do you feel competitive with other people? Because he entertains my astrology questions. He's cool that way. But we like literally vibe the same way, where we pick each other's brains. We are curious about how other people are successful, how they got there. So we can do that, but not like in a competitive, like, egotistical way. It's because we want those things too. So we're genuinely curious, and we're happy for those people. I don't know. I just anyway, so getting back to this competitive thing, I feel like when I have a boyfriend, I feel like I'm competitive with myself, like making sure I'm on my A game when I'm with them. Like, yeah, my desk is organized, or like, this shit sounds crazy, but I have a stellium in the 6th house. So this is like Virgo energy. Like, things must be organized. Things must be clean. Like, I love to clean. I love to organize. But yet, I have so much, things just get chaotic. I feel like I just don't feel as motivated without that person. So it's like, it may take me a few days to get on top of it. And it's like, I keep trying to fight that natural energy. Like, no, I can do this. I got it. I don't need somebody else. I can do this. The same goes for friendships, where it's like, if somebody bails on me and I'm supposed to go somewhere, I'm like, okay, well, I'll go by myself. And I have. Like, somebody bailed on me this summer to go to a concert. I literally straight up went to that concert by myself, and I had a great time. Like, I can do these things. Or one of my friends, she didn't mean to bail on me. She sent me a text, and I didn't get the text in time, but I ended up doing brunch by myself. Like, I can, and that's great. Success. I can do these things by myself. I don't want to. I don't fucking want to. I want to do it with somebody else. Like, and it's not just the guy, it's also my friends. Like, I'm literally on my A game because it's like, I make sure of it. Like, I make sure everything's like, I make sure my hair is really good. I make sure my makeup is good. I make sure my nails are good. My outfit, blah, 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 blah. And like, and definitely subconsciously, I feel guilty about this, like wanting another in my life, not just guys, but also like that best friend type of, what are you doing? Where are you at? Let's get together. Like, definitely because of my mom has made me feel bad about this my whole life. I'm not trying to talk shit. It's just like, it's true if we're being open and honest about this. And this is because she's got Saturn and Capricorn in the 10th house and her moon's in it's very, it's also an independent energy. And it's just like, you don't need a man or you don't need others. You could do this yourself. And it's like, but she's also not good with her emotions. And it's like, where's the feminine part? Like, I want to express this and I wasn't taught to express this properly. Like, I feel better when I'm with others. I do better and I'm tired of denying it. So how can we balance this energy with another? Like, how can I welcome better energy friends, better energy of people that are at my level, whatever my level is. And I don't mean that in like, I'm here and you're there. If it's coming off that way, that's not what I mean. So just listen to my words. Don't listen to the tone. I'm telling you, if you guys get rid of the people that are bringing some type of sadness or constant like you're just always unsatisfied, like you're just not happy. Or if they just bring random moments of happiness, it's like, I do not believe life is meant to be just moments of happiness. I do not believe that. Do I think there's meant to be random moments of better happiness than others? Yeah, sure. But like, no, it shouldn't be like that. A friendship should be genuine. It should be real. It should be authentic. There should be no passive aggressive digs. Like I know that like, cause I'm into makeup. I've always been into makeup. When I learned about it as a teenager, like I took courses on makeup years ago. Like I got certified. So it takes a while if you're going to do it right. I don't always do it right. I rush sometimes, but you could always see a rush job. That's the truth of makeup. But my friends, like some of my friends would like talk shit like, oh my God, she's got to do her makeup. She just has to do that. It just makes her, like, I don't know where I was going with that one, but just, like it takes you forever to do that. Or you just, it's just like, there's always, kind of just like making you feel bad for who you are through passive aggressive jokes, and it's like, is it a joke? Do you really feel this way? Am I a burden because I like to take pride in myself? And, looking at some of these individuals, it's like, I don't know if you do, I really don't. Or maybe what taking pride in oneself looks like to you looks very different to me, is a better way of describing it. But you see where that comparison energy is? That shouldn't fucking exist. And if you're already thinking like that, it's like there's a problem there. And I feel like I've tried speaking up about these things with people. And it's like it only bothers them more. Because again, there's this whole game, this mind game of who can play off that they're more unbothered than the other. And it's like, you guys win. I want you guys to win at being fake. Go for it. Because ultimately the people who win are the people who are being genuine and real, because they can only attract that into their life once they're willing to accept it and deal with it. When you can't get that honesty back, like I remember one of my friends, her husband, he hated me. Oh my God. And this girl, I'm not friends with her anymore. She turned out to be a fucking psycho. But he hated me. Oh my God. And the reason he hated me, just like there's, I'm definitely that person. It's either you love me or you hate me. He was the guy that hated me. And the reason he hated me is because he was jealous of me. And I don't really care if he realizes this or not, because he just is definitely also the type that doesn't give things much thought. He just feels and then goes off of that. And then makes assumptions, and he was just totally whack. He was lame, very lame guy. And I would pick up on this. And it's like, it got to the point where it's like, this has to be addressed because you're acting some kind of way. And then it got to the point where, well, I'm not going to get there, but I'm not going to take it there. But where when you're open and honest about these things and you call people out and they deny them, but then they do something stupid, something shady that is blatantly obvious, like, yes, I do not like you. When they trip, when they fall, when they make that mistake and there's an action that these people do, I want you guys to not ignore those actions. I've made rookie mistakes before, where sometimes I ignore them. I don't ignore them anymore. I'm just like, nope, I see this. I'm going to not pretend anymore that I don't know. And I'm going to call you out. And I had to do that with this one guy years ago, because he thought he was like a very dominating guy. He thought he was the it factor. But really it just stemmed from insecurities. And I think it was because I come off as this person that, is a show off. And like, it's just like, it really deep down just bothered him that I was doing all these things, that maybe he wanted to do, going to these games and having good seats or being able to go on these weekend getaways. And it's like, maybe he felt like restricted. He couldn't do these things, maybe financially, whatever, because there was definitely that energy of being jealous due to what I was posting. And when you catch these people, when they slip, because eventually these people that are like fueled with either hate or just so much jealousy, they eventually slip because they can't control themselves. Because if they can't control that energy when they're around you, of that, like, when you feel that energy, they'll eventually slip. They'll do something stupid. It'll be a passive aggressive move or just something dumb. Call them out on it. Like, make it so blatantly obvious that, look, if you don't have a problem with me, then why did you do X, Y, and Z? And show them the proof. Oh, show them the proof. Because you can only feel this fucking small, this fucking idiotic to be doing the blatantly obvious shit that you're doing and yet still denying it like a pussy. You know what I mean? But then again, it's like people like that, their brain's already kind of small, in my opinion. So then, it really depends on you as a person. Is it worth it? To me, it's always worth it. Because it's like, here you were talking your shit, spreading rumors, and based off what? What did I ever do to you? I never did anything to this guy. I want you guys to know this. Literally never did anything to this guy. He was literally nothing to me. He was my friend's husband. If anything, I tried supporting this guy, being positive to this guy, nice every time I saw him, respectful. But he just, it was one of those things where people are just going to hate you when they meet you. They just don't like you. It could be your tone of voice. It could be the things you're doing, and they just don't like it. This was that. But it means they're focusing too much like on you, and there's something you're doing that they see about themselves that like they're not able to do, and they're just jealous. It's just jealousy at the end of the day. And I don't understand that energy. And I don't want to understand that energy. It means that those people have forgotten something, they lack something within their soul, realness, depth, and it's surface, they're not taking the time to figure out why they feel this way. Because if we were to all just do that, we can figure out like, oh, it's not that serious. This is not as it seems. Like using this guy as an example, like he loved doing the things I was doing. Okay. So, and I have not channeled this. I don't care enough to know, but I'm just trying to help you guys out by my own examples. I was traveling and I would go to these sports games, and I always got good seats. And it's like he would see this on social media. And it's not like if he ever did these things, it's not like he wasn't the type to post these things too. Like So, I don't think just because if you post things, it means you're showy. I don't think that at all. I don't vibe with that energy of just do it for yourself. You don't have to post it on social media. What about people who are social and like to share what's going on in their life? And also, what if they're just proud? Like, what if I got floor seats and I'm proud of this and I want to show that? That's a show off. I just don't agree. Hold on. I have to add this to the other video. Hold on. So yeah, I just don't agree with that whole mentality. I think it's very warped. Do I think there's some people who do post things just to get attention? Yeah, for sure. But like I said, there's more gray in this world than black or white. That's all. And I'll leave that there. But yeah, you could just tell he was just very bothered by the things I did, him and his wife. And it's like, well, why are you guys really bothered when you guys do the same exact thing? You guys go on vacations, you post pictures. You guys go to these sports games and you post pictures. I don't understand. What is the difference? Is it because I'm at a game while you're at home and you want to be at the game right then? Like, go do some soul searching, bro. Like, for real. It made no fucking sense. So yeah. And that was a connection through a friend at the time where it's like they weren't going anywhere. So it's like that had to be settled. That had to be dealt with because nobody was going anywhere at that time. My point again, communication. It's key. People trying to deny that things have to be spoken about. Guys, hurt yourselves. That's all it does. Or there's this energy of, what will I look like? Who the fuck cares? Like, think about how you feel. Think about how you feel. It's not worth it. It's worth it to just get it out. When I tapped into this whole psychic realm and realizing I was channeling and doing readings and all that, there were these two friends that, there was a lot of them that didn't believe it, that just really thought I was going through something. And I can understand that. I have a lot of earth in my chart. So it's like, if I had a friend who wasn't psychic, or we didn't know she was psychic, and all of a sudden she's claiming she's psychic while things are going on in her life, like, she ended her engagement, she sold her home. So it's like things are just crumbling around her. Now she believes she's psychic. Like, I would definitely, being the Aries that I am, like, do you really believe you're psychic, or do you think maybe like something else is going on? Like, that conversation would need to happen. Just because I've said this before in other videos, the psychic energy is coming from that 12th house. That's a very fine line between what is a psychic experience. Why am I saying that weird? Experience, and what is not. So you have to pay attention. Like, you do have to take that seriously. And I definitely was. But if you're not believing your friend after you've had the conversation, like, no, this is what's happening, and they're not even willing to like entertain it, they're just going with, no, I think you're crazy now. That's fucking crazy to me. That is a bad friend. Like, literally, that is not good. Because to me, the whole psychic stuff, that's your brain. So what are you really saying? What is the deeper meaning? And again, these people, especially these people in my past life, not past life, I mean this life, but from my past, they all lack self-awareness, like real integrity and real self-awareness. I don't think they're smart enough, if I'm being honest, or knowledgeable enough to understand the psychic stuff. But then you're talking about my brain, like that it's gone rogue. Really, like for real, I'm not even kidding. Like, that's what you're pretty much saying. It's fucking insulting. That too much has happened in my life and my mind can't handle it anymore is essentially what's going on. Do I think these people felt they were saying that? No, but it is what you're saying regardless. If you got somebody in your life that's saying, I'm seeing dead people now, or I'm psychic, or I'm predicting this, I'm predicting that, and this is what happened, And your friends from the 4th grade, or your friends for, I don't know, 5-6 years, are just like, yeah, I know you gave me this reading, but I don't know if this is my energy. And then all that shit ended up coming true, and they don't even have the decency, the balls to come back to you and be like, hey, remember that reading that I didn't think was mine? Bro, everything came out. Like, that shit's fucked up. That's not a real friend. It's somebody who either lacks self-awareness, doesn't really realize, can't put the pieces together. And even then, it's like, that means, again, it's a sign from the universe. You guys are at 2 different wavelengths. And you guys may be thinking like how I used to think for years, like, well, you could just like accept them from a distance, like for who they are. And you guys, no, people like that will just bring you down. They will kill your manifestations. I can't have people in my life who don't believe I'm psychic. So you think I'm literally crazy. Now listen, I'm okay with people thinking I'm crazy, like fun type of crazy. I don't mind that. I've been called that my whole life. Yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah, crazy for you. But crazy, you think I'll show you fucking crazy. I could show you crazy. What? Crazy. Wow. Let me tap into your fucking energy and I'll show you crazy. But I rather not. And honestly, like being real, like real talk right now, like my Jupiter's in my 8th house. So this is somebody who really doesn't believe in doing shit like that. Like I really believe something bad will happen if I were to do shit like that. Like, oh yeah, you don't believe me? Like, oh, let me, like, no. And I've had these conversations with my dad too, where he says these kind of like instigating things where he doesn't even really realize he's instigating, where he'll be like, okay, if you're really psychic, then you'll be able to know the conversations I've had with my dad that are only me and him would have ever known. It's like, I'm not going to do this. It's not because I don't believe in myself. It's not that because I don't believe I can do it. It's because, number one, you're essentially trying to get me to prove myself to you. You may not be self-aware of this. You may not be realizing what you're doing, but this is what you're doing. Number two, I don't need to prove myself to anybody. You either believe me or you don't. You seem to be aware that all these weird things are happening in your life ever since we started talking about this stuff. And you believe it's because of me. So you kind of sort of do. So you're just trying to convince yourself of something. And that's your own thing you got to work out. That's your own thing, along with all these other people in my life. Or, sorry, not in my life. Also, what seems to happen with these types of people who don't really believe in the psychic stuff, but yet want a reading, they like to break down and analyze these readings. Like if I were to tell my dad, if I were to channel it, right? I've considered it just to be like, haha, fuck you, It's like whatever I channel, he will literally just distort it all and turn it into something it's not. I could be like, did you have a conversation about this? Because this is what I saw. But I will see symbolism. I will get that. And he'll be like, well, maybe you saw the cat because I had a cat. La da 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 da. And it's like, you know what? If you're literally going to distort the message, you don't get the message. You see what I'm saying? That's where you have to be with certain people. So when you have people like that in your life, and that's my father, that's a little bit differently. That's a little different. That's where my Jupiter is. Now, Jupiter is that kind of like dogmatic type of energy where it's a little bit contradictory. It's like a very strong belief system, but do you practice what you preach? Now, the degree it's in for me, it's like, yeah, I definitely practice what I preach, and I may be a little bit much for other people. Like, you should be like this too. How can you not be? Yeah, well, you know what? Sorry, but like, there are just some things that are wrong. There are just some things that are wrong, and that is definitely my Jupiter coming through right now. So, and I don't care. You can't, like, a big fuck you, like, with this whole psychic stuff. I remember one of my friends she decided to act the fuck up, so it was really her. She ended that friendship. I told her, I was like, I believe I may be psychic. This is what a psychic told me, and weird things have been happening in my life ever since. And now that I think of it, and I told her some things that I predicted and they happened, she literally told me this. I cannot make this up. She goes, yeah, well, I don't know if I believe any of that, but so-and-so saw a psychic and they predicted that I was going to have a second child. And I do believe that. Or I have another friend, and I love her, but still, it's the same shit, where I think she thought for the longest time that I was super stupid because, and a lot of people do this, and it's not fully their fault, but it's also just fucking stupid on their part and rude. She would make a lot of jokes, like, because of my personality. It's very bubbly. It's very Mars and Gemini, a little all over the place. Their own stupidity will mistake this for being stupid. So she would make a lot of jokes and I would ignore them. Like, she would make jokes about, like, I think astrology, and I knew she didn't fully agree with it. Like, she agrees with the surface level of astrology, but don't go too much deeper than that. Same with the woo-woo stuff, whatever she considers woo-woo to be. So I said, do you not believe in psychics? And she's like, no, I do. And I said, oh, okay, I got it. Just not me. Like, it's very, very apparent when people say things like that. You guys got to be honest with yourselves. Obviously different situations, right? I don't expect you guys to be going through the same things, but it's like, can I deal with that as a friend? Can I separate the two? So with the one friend who, like, had the prediction, she ended up blocking me. Again, you got to have communication to understand where people are. You can't just have this energy of, like, you know what? I don't want to hear what you have to say. Go fuck yourself. And then low-key stalk their life on social media. This is what this one Pisces girl thought she could do. She, wanted to... So anyway, that was that, what the one girl said with the jokes, her astrology jokes. And it's like, eventually I kind of called her out in a nice way. And she was like, oh, no, I don't think this of you. And it's like, okay, I hope not, because I'm not on crack and I'm not stupid. Eventually you got to speak up and say these things to nice people, because I genuinely think she's nice. I think she's smart, but I also think she's super judgy and sees things. And when they look a certain way, she believes them to be that way. And I believe that's just part of her zodiac sign, if I'm being honest. But I think you gotta think a little more when it comes to humans and people, and just be a little more deeper than that, to be honest with you guys. But the other chick, I went through this period in my life, and you also got to see who comes through for you in these, when you guys have these, I don't know, like I had a dark night of the soul last year, and these things are traumatic. Oh my God, dark night of the soul. So anyway, I was in the process of selling my home, and, a majority of my energy in my natal chart is my midheaven. So there are things that constantly go back to business and creating things and selling things. And so I use those as examples right away, because that's just where my energy is, a lot of it. And so I'm very smart when it comes to business. I just am. And I can separate personal and business. Like I used to own my business with my ex-fiance, and when he was acting the fuck up, and when I say acting the fuck up, like horrible, just a horrible human being. I can't even get into it. I cannot. All I remember is that I wanted to die, and I wanted a camper to roll on top of me. Literally, I was praying each morning to die. And then that person pretended to have a fake suicide, just in case, he was afraid I would actually, like, hurt myself. And he had no intentions of doing it. He just did it just in case, because I was so depressed. If anything happened, he didn't want any blood on his hands. That's how fucking sick this guy was. But anyway, we were like done. And I remember before things ended the way it did legally, I said, we have something really good here in regards to this business. Why don't we just continue being partners? Like, I'm totally willing to do this, like, as business partners. And he was like, no, fuck no. And then he wanted to act totally scandalous, and it was just terrible. But that's that Libra energy. That is that understanding, like, what it takes to make things work. Like, things that you've put time into, and willing to compromise, even though you may not really want to. But when people act the fuck up, it's like, okay, well, me thinking of others before myself isn't working. So I'm going to have to think for myself now. I fucking tried and it didn't work. So with this chick, I tried to have an open conversation with her, and I tried to, like, she knew everything that was going on in my life about selling my home. And she knew that, we had a mutual friend who was a real estate agent. And I told our mutual friend, I said, I'm going to have several different agents look at the house. And based off my conversations with each one, from there, I will decide who will sell my home. But I want to give you at least the opportunity. Meaning, like, to show up, and I knew she was new at it. I don't think she sold jack, like nothing. But Aries, we're loyal that way. But I'm not going to give you the job. Are you kidding me? This is like, when you have planets in the 8th house, this is like a do or die type of energy. You're constantly being put in these situations where you have to evolve. You have to deal with shady people. You got to learn from these people. You got to just like deal with a lot of shit, pretty much, like transformative shit. And a lot of people usually in your life see you going through these things and they don't understand it. Fuck them. Anyway, I was very clear in my communication with this friend that was a real estate agent. I told her the job was not hers, but to definitely like check out the house, whatever. She decided to try to pull a fast one on me, tried to be selfish, tried to just, I guess, make the job hers. She told me this is how much we will sell it for. We could put it on the market today. Like literally manhandled me, I feel like, like tried to sell me. And like, first off, I'm not that person. Even as a customer with salespeople, I'm like, no, this is not going to work. I'm not that person. So I told her very bluntly, like, oh, I'm having other people look at the house too. Anyway, so this mutual friend didn't mind her fucking business, and I cannot stand when people do that. Like, you guys have that friend that just like gets involved with other people's business, and then they start the conversation with, I know this is none of my business, but yeah, bitch, it's none of your fucking business. So butt out. Like, so anyway, I was really taken back by this because this mutual friend of ours talks so much shit about her and her mom and all this shit I never sold her down the river for, and I could have. But it turned out, long story short, this girl talked mad shit about me. Like, I can't believe she's not going to just give it to me. Like, I'm putting words in her mouth, but she pretty much was saying like that the job should have just been hers. And this mutual friend of ours, I mean, the girl that didn't believe I was psychic, whatever, she felt as an outsider that it should be hers. That I should just give her the job. How could I not, as a friend? Like, give her at least the opportunity. You should give her the chance. I thought this was the dumbest thing ever. And I thought, like, this girl who has absolutely no experience dealing with things on her own. She always has mommy in her corner. She always has somebody in her corner helping her. She has literally no fucking idea how to scratch her own fucking ass. Like, how dare you? How dare you tell me that I should hire an inexperienced real estate agent to go sell my house, and this is my bread and butter. Literally, this is my livelihood we're fucking with. You want me to put this in somebody who is inexperienced? It's like, let me see your resume, and it's a blank sheet of fucking paper, and you're on the sideline saying, give her a chance, she's your friend. Like, no, jackass. No, and it's easy for you to say because you're on the sideline. It's not going to affect your money. It's not going to affect your bank account. This is my future that's already slowly fucking crumbling. Okay? My future was crumbling in front of my fucking eyes, and she didn't care. She just didn't care. This bitch. So, I'm getting annoyed just thinking about it. Just the stupidity behind it. And you guys may be thinking, well, why did you even give her, like, why did you open your mouth, whatever? Because you never know, like, you never knew what she could have, like, offered. Like, she could have came, like, yeah, she's wet behind her ears at that point. She could have came with her boss, her manager, however it works in real estate. And maybe he was going to guide her. Maybe they were going to split the commission. Maybe he was going to tell me we can sell it. And maybe that amount would have been the most. And maybe, but they didn't even come to the house. Like, I don't know if you guys have experience in this at all, but like all the other real estate agents, they were hustlers. Like, they made the appointment to come check out my house. She didn't even do that. She literally, like, I got renovations on this house. She never even saw the house with renovations. She saw it before. And she was trying to text me, tell me, oh, we could sell it for this. Bitch, you didn't even see the house with the renovations. What are you talking about? Oh my God, you already X'd yourself out. I would never deal with you. This is so unprofessional. And like I said, I could separate myself from personal and business. Like, this is nothing personal. I'm sorry you're taking it personal. So anyway, so I found out she talked all this fucking shit. And then this fucking trifling ass bitch of a friend, quote unquote friend, felt that it was so unfair and that I should have just gave it to her. I should have just gave her the chance. And it's like, bitch, if you only knew how much shit this girl talked about you. I hope. Because that's the thing about 8th house planets too. We're really good at keeping secrets. We will keep your secret till the day we die. Until you give us reasons not to. So anyway, so that is not a good friend, clearly. Like, both of them started acting the fuck up at a time I really needed like a good support system. And it's like, they could hear this and be like, we were there for you. We offered to go out. We offered to keep you busy. And it's like, the energy at that time was like, you got to get over it. It's like, my life was crumbling apart. I was dealing with legalities regarding a business. I was dealing with selling a home. And mind you, this was me by myself. I think I was 31 at the time. My mom wasn't helping me. She was helping me financially, which is huge. I needed that at the time, which she was paid back for, FYI. But still, I had nobody actually guiding me. Like, you need to do this. You need to do that. Like, she was literally doing nothing. Fucking nothing. I had nobody in my life guiding me. I had to do it all my fucking self. And, you know, you guys may be thinking the tiniest fucking violin, but no, that shit was traumatizing. And it helped me grow in the sense to be smarter. And I'm grateful for that, because it also taught me about who's really there for you, like emotionally, like. And I think all those serious situations I was in, all at the same time, losing an engagement, losing a house, the possibility of losing a business, it's like that will make you physically ill, mentally ill. You're just not yourself. And it's really hard to find other people that can resonate with that. And it's not their fault, if I'm going to be open and honest. But at the same time, it's like the things that you don't resonate with, at least have compassion and empathy for seeing the pain that they're going through, instead of just like, okay, well, you got to act. Okay, but look at the full situation. You basically have this 31-year-old who doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I had never been that independent, and now all of a sudden I have these serious fucking responsibilities. We're not just talking about renting an apartment. We're not just talking about signing a lease. Like, no, these are big fucking responsibilities, and I may lose all of it if I don't act the right way. And I felt so fucking disappointed by these people. So disappointed. Oh my God. Awful. Fucking awful. No compassion, no heart. And I feel like, you know, well, how do I get those like genuine people that I had needed? You know, like, did I maybe energetically do something to keep people away? And I think 1000%, like that whole situation I went through, that was part of my, because there was this past life I channeled by accident, if I'm being real, because I was trying to, I have this gift where I could do like past life regression, like hypnosis. Without the hypnosis, basically I can help people channel. Like, you know how I channel, I get visions. Like, I could do that for people. I could just tell you to close your eyes and you'll start getting visions. It's really cool. So I was trying to do that. I was trying to teach myself how to do that with people, but on myself. And then this past life came through, and it was very similar to this life, which I feel like if you guys are born during any type of planet retrograde, like, there's something to that storyline. Anyway, so basically what had happened back then definitely happened in another past life, but something very similar, not exactly the same. And I was reliving that out. So that was all meant to happen. That was all meant to push me into these serious, serious karmic lessons, life lessons, to make me independent and to learn and to figure out what it is I want, and make me question what I believe to know, but I don't know. So in hindsight, I am grateful. I really am. But I was trying to ignore those things because it was just like, how could people be so cold? You know, like, even though they don't have experience in these things, like, how do you not have like, I would never do you like you did me. Like, I would never do that. I would be open-minded about the real estate situation. Like, this is serious. Sunny needs this money. Like, what if she doesn't sell it in time? Or what if she sells it for less because she has no experience? Like, you got to keep the friendship thing out and not take it personal and act like a fucking asshole, let alone being willing to talk shit about something so petty, about it's not even your money. And you're willing to do that instead of being like, yeah, my friend needs this. This is serious. Like, money is not that serious to me at the end of the day. Despite business being serious, it's like, on a soul level, it's serious in regards to some type of succeeding within myself. But the money factor, like, yo, when it comes to like friendships and love and like, money does not fucking matter. And I'm disgusted with people when that shit wins. And that's what it was. It's like, it was never your money, bitch. ... Bitch. My God. But, you know, speaking about like denying these things and like just procrastinating, like ending these friendships. I remember there was this phase in my life where I was like in this partying phase, and all I wanted to do was party. And this was like, I don't know, I guess like even on a Wednesday. And I met these two girls, and these girls were willing to party. Like, I've literally never partied staying until like the bar lights go on. Like, I've never been that person, but I guess I was in this phase that didn't last very long. But I knew these two bitches were talking shit about me too, like mad shit, like so. And like, again, it's like, what type of shit are these people talking about? They're always talking about the same things, guys. I want you guys to understand this. This is jealousy. It's like, it's always about what I'm wearing. It's always about the pictures I'm posting. It's always about like me loving myself, me being confident, and people having a problem with that. It's like, mind your fucking business. Go love yourself. Like, focus on yourself. Like, one of the chicks that I used to hang out with, she would barely post anything. She hardly posts anything. You know why? Because she was a shady trick. That's why. She didn't want any of those guys knowing. Guys, plural. And it doesn't mean, you know, all girls are tricks if you guys have many guys. I don't mean that at all. But I'm just saying, like, this is literally why. She was one of those chicks that hardly posted on social media. And it's like, even when she did, it's like she posted the same shit. Like, this is what I mean about people and lacking self-awareness. It's like, what are you hating on me for? Am I doing the things you want to do? Am I, do you see something within yourself? Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. It's just so stupid. Oh my God. I remember both of them, like, they were not in shape, really not good looking. I'm just being honest with you guys, not good looking. But they're both easy, actually both easy. But it's like they would both, I think it's honestly because I'm pretty, and like, and I don't want anybody misunderstanding that I'm not this beautiful, gorgeous girl. Like, no. But I'm also not ugly. Like, I am not fucking ugly. Okay. I'm just not. These girls, you know, I think what brought the attention for them was their easy access, if I'm being honest. Because it's like, they were also like easygoing too, but it's like, they were also kind of bitchy. These girls. And, you know, they would talk about the shit that, like, I don't know. I think they just got mad because it's like, guys would just like talk to me, and it's like once they saw that like I was not easy, meaning like I'm not no, you're not I'm not going to be sleeping with you, sir, like they would just go to them. And it's like I think like there was that unspoken jealousy, and it's like they just naturally just talk shit about me. I don't know, there's something very childlike about me, and it's not, I don't know, like I really do attract all walks of life. I think it's that rising Libra. I get along with literally all breeds. I do not discriminate. I really should. But they would talk about my outfits. Like legit, they would make fun of my crop tops. I remember that. And I remember thinking to myself, like, why are they making fun of my crop tops? Like, like genuinely, I was confused. I'm like, is it because I'm not fit? Like, because I don't have that body? Where it's like I go to the gym? Because I know I always have like, I have my rolls, you know, like I got my arm fat, my stomach fat, but like, I'll be damned. Like, I'm still gonna wear my crop tops. Like, I'm not big. Like, I'm not a big girl, you know, like I can still get away with this shit. Like, I'm sorry, you guys cannot. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm confident enough to wear this. And yeah, end of story. Why are you reading my story when I didn't give you the book to read? Like, stop looking at me. Mind your fucking business. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Like, this is what I cannot stand. And this is what like brings me out of my own natural element. And it's like, I cannot keep doing this to myself anymore. And it's that fucking rising Libra energy where it's just like, we attract everyone and then we can see the beauty in everyone. Like we literally, and we compromise and we understand why people act like a fucking fool and we have compassion and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, nah, just go back there, go back there, go back there, go back there. And people end up feeling bad. Not all of them, like that one guy I was talking about, like, oh, no. I don't know what he's doing. Don't give a fuck about that guy. But he's also a guy. So I don't know. It's another breed within itself. But, excuse me. But these people usually, depending on how it goes down, because I could be brutal. I could be fucking brutal. Mars and Gemini. 8th house placements, we could be brutal people. But it's like, what did you do? What did you fucking do to get us to this point? When people take you out of your element, and again, you know, obviously you got to look at yourself. You control yourself. Nobody, it's like, I don't really fully believe in that meme. You must question yourself if you're so easily to be provoked, you know, something like that, you know, and it's like, yes, but no, like there are also just provokers in our life. And they usually are the activators that are activating those specific planets in our progress chart that are moving to a different degree or a new house placement, new energies. And that's speaking karmically of a contract you signed with somebody else. I do believe that. So I don't, again, not everything's black or white. There's gray. You are supposed to be provoked. You are supposed to be a little enraged, you know, so you can learn more about yourself. Like, why did you get enraged? I wish people would just take the time to review themselves, like really, and just like give things thought. It's like so important because you'll realize that these people, you can get away from these people, or maybe you should get away from these people to get towards people who really belong with you. And they, in the spiritual community, they call this the soul tribe. Like, I don't feel like my soul tribe, like my real soul tribe, like I can make fun of myself. I do it all the time. I'm really good at it. I do it subconsciously as well. I can laugh at I think it's important to laugh at yourself. And I know when somebody is genuinely laughing at me in like not a mean way, not a passive aggressive way. You guys have to be able to distinguish the two. Like I know my flaws. Like this is what it shows in my natal chart. Like somebody who is very deeply self-aware. Now, does that mean I'm not going to make mistakes? No, it does. But that means I'm going to catch those mistakes and I'm going to reflect about it. I'll be like, should I have done that? Maybe that wasn't my best move. But I think this is why I did it, blah, blah, blah. But maybe I shouldn't have because, like, that is what it shows in my chart. And that's the work of healers, by the way, because they understand their mind so deeply. They also understand other people's minds. So it's important to be able to see who is making fun of you, first off, does that vibe with you? Are you okay with that? For me, it does. I love to laugh at myself because I also like to make fun of others, like in a joking way. Like, I love you. What are you wearing? You know, it's awful, you know, like joking around. But people will make fun of me. I notice, like, in passive aggressive ways. I'm like, oh, that didn't feel right. That felt like a jab. That felt like a fucking jab. You got some shit you want to say, motherfucker? You know, because we can go there. We could go there, but you may not like what you hear back because I got a list for you that I've been keeping tabs on, but I've been ignoring. I've been ignoring because I don't, you know, want to think this way of you. I think positive thoughts of you. I like you. You know, like, I would never speak these negative things that I see about you that are blatantly obvious. And again, these are blatantly obvious things for me. Maybe, I don't know about you guys, but again, it's, I have Gemini here, in the 8th house as well as Taurus, but Mercury is here. So I can just see these things. I can see people's shadows because it's the 8th house as well as my own. So what's another thing? So Mars and Gemini in the 8th house, this also speaks about people stealing ideas who are close to me. You know, this is unfortunate because I've had people, I just had this happen recently. And that really, like, I was disgusted to figure this out. And because, you know, the ideas I have, like these downloads I get for business ideas, or they're worth a lot. And when I get to this point in my life where I can clearly focus on them and do something about them instead of half-assing them, I will. 1000%. I know I will. I'm going to do something. But I'm just not there right now. I vocalized one of these ideas to somebody, and they literally tried stealing it. Like, they literally tried taking it as if it were their own. Now, did they try maybe doing a little twist to it? Maybe. I don't know. I don't care. If somebody gives you an idea to do something together, like, hey, wouldn't this be a good idea to do together? You should never take that fucking idea and run with it and go do it yourself. That is disgusting. Like, I literally, besides the fact that's got karma written all over it, like, you will definitely reap what you sow for trying something like that. It's just like, wow. Oh my God, that says so much about you as a person that you're willing to do something like that. It was never your idea. You never thought of that. But you were willing to literally take that idea, run with it as if it were, and make money off of it. You literally, like, Googled it. You literally took the time to do that. And you call yourself a friend. No, you're not a fucking friend. You're somebody who's looking to make money. Like, oh, disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. I'll leave that there. That's also not a real friend. People who are just willing to, if you guys have that type of, you know, mindset where you speak about ideas and you want to do these things with other people, and it's just like, no, at least the timing is off for right now. Does it mean that you're not meant to do things with other people? For me personally, like I said earlier in the video, I'm definitely supposed to be doing things. Like, I am better with other people in my life. Does it mean in regards to a business? Honestly, me as an Aries, like, I like things my own way. Like, I really do. There's, especially now that creative side is beginning to kick in a little bit here and there. It's like, and I see it benefiting and working in my favor. I'm just not at that stage in my life where it's like I'm willing to take a business partnership right now. I'm just not. But I know that's not permanent. That's just where I'm at right now. Like I said, life is not black or white. It is gray. What else did I want to give you guys examples of? When you have a friend that's totally anxious, right? They're so anxious that it makes them extremely self-absorbed. Like, I had this friend and I had to end that friendship because she turned out to be a crazy bitch. I was doing her a huge favor and she didn't realize this at all. And I could have avoided the argument that we ended up having. I could have. I saw it. I saw if I took the time to word things a certain way, tiptoe, stepping on eggshells. I saw that if I did this, It could have been a better time for me, because how it ended up escalating was a huge fight, where two people were just at it, just totally fucking at it. And the reason I was acting this way is because I was dealing with someone who's totally ungrateful. I was helping them out. And basically, long story short, I decided to help this person last minute to watch their dogs, watch their house. I said I would do it for free because that's the type of person I am. If you're my friend, I will do this for you. I said, you don't have to pay me. I was extremely busy. This happened in the summertime. And then it turned out there was a camera on me. I found this out while I was taking off my bra. Okay. Luckily, I was doing that girl move. Like, we take it off under our t-shirts. So it's like nobody saw anything. But listen, if you're my friend, you're going to tell me there's a fucking camera on me inside the house. So listen, this is something you don't want to do to an 8th house person. You do not want to be doing. You don't want to be in their business like that. You don't want to do that. So I was smart about it. I saw the camera. I took a picture of it. And I moved that shit. What started the argument before this, it was, she kept texting me up the ass. Now, I cannot stand people like this. Like, do not. It probably has to do with this whole freedom thing I like, you know, like, don't bother me. You know, like, only certain people could do that. And you're not one of them because you're fucking annoying. You're annoying me. Don't text me like that. And it's like, at the time, originally, I wasn't going to take her money. I definitely took the money and I fucking ran. FYI, that's how the story ends. At the time, I wasn't going to be taking her money. So it's like she was treating this like it was a business transaction because she left the money for me. And she was texting me, how's my dog? How's this? How's that? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know if you guys have worked with this, but I also do this for a living where I watch people's dogs. It's part of, like, I don't know, a side thing I also do for my business. Well, originally, it was from my business and then turned into something else. So I know how people are about their dogs. I have a dog. I have a cat. I get this. They're your children. They're your aunt, whatever. I don't care. I'm a friend doing you a fucking favor. That's end of story. Period. I'm extremely busy. I don't have time to do this, let alone in the summertime. I'm doing you a favor. Do not bother me. Do not bother me like this. This was all I said to this woman was, and I swear to you guys and everything, kept the receipts of that one too. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Don't worry. I will let you know if anything's wrong. Oh my God, this woman would not let it go. She thought, she's kind of like that Long Island princess where, like, she thinks she can still talk some kind of way running her fucking mouth. Meanwhile, it's like, you have nobody else. This doesn't work. I think you've met your match, bitch, because I am about to ruin your fucking trip if you keep running your mouth. In fact, it's actually going to be you ruining your own trip because we are not about to take this today. I don't think so. So she thought she could, like, put me down, talk down to me, boss me around, yelling at me while I was in her house. I don't know about you guys, but, like, this is stupid. This has got stupidity written all over it. Like, I don't know. And it was ultimately. So I wasn't going to change, like, my stance. You know, I was hoping she would, but that was dumb. And so eventually, you know, she caught on that I moved the camera and she didn't like that very much. So she thought she was smart and she thought she was going to, like, kiss my ass for a little bit to eventually lead up to the camera being moved. And she was just like, oh my God, you need to move the camera back right now. Like, not asking me, telling me. Again, stupid move. And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, she lives in, like, a 1x1, and I don't know if you guys have been in these small types of homes where the whole layout is right there in front of you. You got the camera right on the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen all at one time. So it's like she intentionally had the camera right there because it's like that's where all the action will be. So where I moved it was on the door because don't you care about my safety? I'm in a home, just me, little old me, a woman here, single by myself. So it was on the door and a little bit on this fish aquarium, which, by the way, that's another thing this woman decided to throw my way. As I already said yes to the job, she told me this guy also had the code to her house. A guy I met one time to feed these fucking fish. I said, excuse me? A guy has the code to this house? And she's like, yeah, but he's the godfather to my daughter. Like, he's safe. He's safe. How? What goes on? Like, you selfish bitch. Like, if roles were reversed, you'd be okay with this. I could be taking a shower. I could be sleeping. Whatever. Who knows? And this guy could be coming in at any time. Are you out of your fucking mind? So I told her, I'll feed the fish. Oh, no. These are special fish. So that was a thing within itself, which I was totally laid back about. I eased up on. I was like, okay, like we just got to figure out what times he'll be here so I know. And I don't think intruder, totally normal. But, she managed to turn that into something it didn't have to be either. So anyway, when she called me out about the camera being moved, I told her to take a screenshot of where it was before I moved it. And she couldn't do that for me. She couldn't do that because she tried to claim that the camera was on the fish aquarium the whole time because, I don't know, the low pixels from where she was on her fucking cheap cruise was able to somehow see her pixelated fish. It was a bunch of bullshit. And she thought she could bullshit a bullshitter, I guess. And it's just like was not going to happen. So, So anybody else in their right mind would have left. They would have been like, they would have took the money and left. I didn't do that. I tried to keep up to my word. I think it was supposed to be 6 nights. Guys, I tried. On the 5th night, I bailed. I was like, you know what? I spoke to your friend who also doesn't fucking like you. And I'm out. And one of the dogs wasn't even trained. Shitting everywhere, pissing everywhere. And you didn't pay that much. I told her, I said, go do your fucking research as to how much a house sitter costs and watching 3 dogs, let alone one that pisses and shits everywhere. This bitch tried to manipulate the whole conversation. She was dumb as rocks. Oh, are you saying you're just going to leave my dogs? Like she intentionally tried to make the conversation look some type of way so that way she could go tell people that I was this terrible dog watcher and, I don't know, abuser, whatever. And it was like, no, you're too dumb for that. You can't manage that type of conversation. It'll never work in your favor. Simply because it's not true. You can't do that. The universe won't allow for it, honestly, if you want to bring spirituality into it. And that's also why I'm so protected. A lot of people wonder, how does this happen to her? She doesn't deserve that. Because people don't understand my true intentions at the end of the day. And it's honesty. It's actual honesty. And sometimes the honesty I give out there is just too morale. I don't know. It just doesn't seem possible. And people don't want to believe it. Well, fuck you guys. I don't know what to tell you. Go to church, It's a joke. Ease up. So that's not a real fucking friend. Real friends will understand what they're doing, what you're doing for them. And they're not going to be so easy to drop you. You see what I mean by that? She was so easy to, she kept trying to manipulate the conversation so she could go around to others, which she already was, because those people were going back to me already telling me that she was, because Rising Libra, we're friends with everybody. She was already trying to get out of this friendship by her actions, or she was going to be a fake friend, or she really was already. If people are quick to drop you like that or dismiss you after being friends since you were in the 10th grade, the 4th grade, or for 5-6 years, and they're willing to act like a fucking fool, I'm not saying things are written in stone because I definitely don't believe in that type of lifestyle anymore. I'm not that person anymore. But I do believe that people have served their purpose already, whether it's temporary or not, but they gotta go. They're not doing you a service. They're not evolving you. They're just causing drama. They're causing stupidity. And it's usually due to lack of self-awareness, lack of perception. It's like they have sunglasses on and they literally can't see and they got a cane because they're half blind. But you can tell them this and they're like, no, it's you. And you're just like, oh my God, get the fuck out of here. And that's what you got to do. Seriously, symbolically, that's what you got to do. You got to walk away. You really do. I don't believe in hanging on to friendships. Like, I remember my mom, she used to hang on to this woman who she was friends with since she was 17. And I remember being like, I don't know, like 8, 9, 10 years old. Every time they hung up the phone, she used to complain about her. She's like, oh my God, she is the most selfish woman I've ever met. I think they both had the same birthday too. My mom is extremely selfish, extremely. But she's a beautiful person. Like, she'll do anything for you, but she's just very selfish, and she just doesn't get it. I don't know. But yeah, so she would complain about this woman, and she would literally just be so annoyed. Or when she was on the phone, she would do this thing. Oh my God, she would do this. Like, I would see her, and it would get my heart racing. Like, I would hate it. I would just think to myself, like, get the fuck off the phone then and end your friendship. And I would tell her, I remember like playing the role of therapist as a child to her and just being like, why are you still friends with her? All you do is complain about her. It's not, it's not fair to her. And she'd be like, because Sonny, we've been friends since we were 17 years old. And I think at this age, I don't know, my mom was like 39 or 40. And it's like, so what? And like, I could explain this type of situation to my dad too. And he'd be like, you just don't get it. You're not old enough to get it yet, to understand the value of a friendship. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what about the quality of it? You don't just hang on to people. You got to drop them so something new can come in. My dad would be like, as you get older. Oh my God, if he heard this, he'd be like, you bitch. I could hear him now. As you get older, it's harder to find good friends, real friends. And I believe that. But how do you know if you don't fucking try? I think it's also hard when you get older and you keep finding these same type of people. If you believe you don't need people, that's what I'm beginning to realize. That is the epitome of a closed heart chakra, is when you deeply and truly believe you don't need others. You can do it by yourself. Because I've been doing this my whole life and I didn't realize that. I really deeply, sincerely believe this is what has caused friction and problems between me and these people. And I didn't know it was because of that. I've always had this mentality that, number one, just always being psychic and intuitively picking up on that these people think this about me and they think that. And that is true. It shows in my chart. I'm able to pick up on what other people feel about me, and it trips me up. Like when I'm talking some kind of way, and let's say like I'm talking, I don't know, let's just say smart, and I'm talking to somebody and I could tell they're thinking, how does she know these things? I'll begin to stutter. Like I really will. And it's because I'm getting this download. Like, it's not that I'm self-conscious. I mean, we could look at it that way, right? But it's being able to it's just a psychic thing. And I fucking hate being psychic, I think, honestly, at the end of the day. There's a part of me that really hates it. But I've always picked up on these things, these things that are going on behind my back with these people. And I didn't know that the whole time it's leading me to think, while being friends with them, like, if they leave or if I leave, I'll be fine. I will be fucking fine. Like, I've always had this thing with the girl that was my best friend. Like, if she decides to leave, like, I'm never fucking reaching out to her. And she knows this. She knows how I am when it comes to her. Actually, I feel like that's just how I am in general. Because when it gets to that point where I walk away, and this is going to sound really like, I don't know, maybe narcissistic, but I know my heart of hearts, and I know it's real at the end of the day. If I'm walking away from you, it means you did something. It means you totally 1000% did something wrong. You did something fucked up. And it's not like my misconception of what is fucked. No. I came through on my end and you didn't come through on yours. And we both know it. And that's why I'm not going to be reaching out to you. And everybody knows this about me. Like my real friends, they know this. Like one of my friends, like that other maid of honor, she just recently unblocked me. How do I know this? Because I can tell you this right now. It's not part of my personality to keep tabs of people. I don't spy on people on social media. I don't give a fuck. Like, I wish everybody the best. That is the truth. I may sound angry, resentful, but I'm human. It's because I'm bringing up these painful experiences. So that's why. But I don't know what the fuck is going on with people. But she showed up as like a friend suggestion. All I could think was like, Oh, you decided to unblock. No, I'm not interested. Block. Like, because I feel like sometimes we go through these intentional karmic lessons, otherwise known as karmic loops, where it's like it's a very similar storyline playing out, but with a different person. It's like, I already experienced this last year with my other maid of honor, and like, I'm fucking good. I don't want to go through this again. I'm not ready for you. I'm not saying I'm dismissing these two ladies forever in my life, but like, you both are not well. Like, you both are not fucking well with where you're at in life, and I'm not at all fucking interested right now. I'm just not. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be that person for the rest of my life where it's like, I'll never reach out to you. Maybe I will. I can't speak of that, especially with what I'm learning with transits and astrology. It's like, shit, anything could change. I am nervous about the Saturn return. Oh my God. Or what is it called? The second Saturn return? Oh my God. Whew. Did you guys ever hear about Doreen, the one who has the oracle cards? How she was into oracle cards, all this stuff, the readings. And then she hit, or I believe she hit her second Saturn return. I think this is something I intuitively believe. I don't think I know this for a fact. But I believe she hit her second Saturn return. And then all of a sudden, she's with God. You know, like, she just gives any money she makes from that, her oracle cards, she just gives it to, I think, charities or something. Don't quote me, but there's something about Doreen, the chick who made the oracle cards. I don't think she makes them anymore because she doesn't believe in that. I'm telling you, things happen. This is why, like, sometimes those relationships, it's like that we're so strong, so loving, and then something happened. Well, what happened? And it's like, well, what happened in the skies? You know? Anyway, I'm getting derailed. Sorry. But, yeah, so I think, like, you got to have this real conversation with yourself. Like, can you it's kind of like separating business and personal, right? You got to be able to separate it. Like, what is helping you grow and what's kind of just keeping you stagnant? And believe it or not, these friendships, even though these people I'm speaking of, it's like all of them are out of state. All of them are out of state, yet they affect me. If they don't believe I'm psychic, it's like that lowers my energy somehow. It's like, why don't they believe in me? You know, that doesn't motivate me. Because again, I'm not that competitive type that's like, I will show them. No, I am showing myself, my damn fucking self, that I could do what it is I know I'm meant to do. It's not for anybody. And if anybody decides to watch, like, I wish they wouldn't. I wish they fucking wouldn't. But if you are, well then, you know, whatever. But you guys need to see, like, what's healthy and what feels so unhealthy. Like, do you guys, like, stop yourselves from talking about certain conversations in front of these people who are supposed to be your best friends or your really good friends? I understand that there's certain friendships out there where it's like, you know, you can't talk about this with them, but you can definitely talk about that. I'm not saying to dismiss those, but, and that could be that Libra energy within me. I don't know. I'm fine with things like that, but anything that just, like, doesn't feel authentic, anything that just doesn't feel real, I can't vibe with. Like, one of the girls, when I called her out, like, is there a problem? Again, you guys should always try to communicate. And I said this to her, and this bitch straight up tried to manipulate me. She was like, I am insulted. I can't believe you would even ask me this. Here I am trying to make the time to hang out with you, and it's like, what just happened? I don't even know. I'm not even going to respond to this because it takes too much thought, and I could feel this isn't worth it, you know? And then sure enough, it's like she visited New York again and didn't even tell me. I just so happened to text her to see how she was, and it's like, oh, the timing. Interesting. The universe will always show you guys. Always ask for signs about people if you're confused. And I feel like you'll get messages, whether it's through numbers, images, your dreams, people. Sometimes you get that as well. So yeah, I just want to make sure I went over these examples that I wanted to. Also look at your North Node, your South Node. That will help you too with these friendships that you guys attract and the ones that kind of need to burn out, so to speak, because they're just not going where you guys are. Not that you guys are moving towards the North Node, because not everybody does. It's an uncomfortable energy to move towards. But somehow you'll always be left to go towards it at some points in your life. Whether you stay on that path is one thing, but the people you connect to, it just resonates with that North Node somehow. It just does. So for me, North Node and Pisces, yeah, like spirituality is like, I need people who are at least accept this. They don't need to believe in this stuff. I don't need them to, because that would be controlling. That would be that unevolved Aries energy. I'm like, I'm good with that. But don't you dare make fun of this stuff. And don't you dare try to get me to do a reading for you to prove myself. Like, I don't need to prove myself to anybody. But yeah. So what are you guys willing, to sacrifice to get what you want when it comes to friendships and what you guys want out of friendships? Like, be real with yourselves, and what you guys look for in boyfriends and girlfriends, look for that in friendships too. Apply common sense, obviously. All right, guys, sending you so much love. Bye.